welcome back to The Trend. Today's trending topic is, do you really know your K-pop boy?
K-pop idol. Like Hannah included.
Okay, K-pop boys and Hyuna. A letdown of the century with Hyuna. Like,
Please.
we're like, your skin tone? I never thought I was tan until I stood beside you. Isn't that kind of funny?
I'm like pink.
Yeah.
The way like a newborn baby.
Your skin's glowing. So this is basically inspired by the Taeil incident from NCT 127. If you know, you know. We're not here to like recount what happened with that. But
Yeah.
it also is based off the fact that I saw this TikTok video. I wonder if I can find it to insert it. But this girl was basically dancing to a BTS song and she had said like, thank God I can dance to my K-pop boys because they're not on the Diddy list. And someone had quoted like, girl, like, do I have some news for you? And some girl duetted the video. And she has said, you know, the K-pop boys, they have their own list.
Yeah.
Okay,
they got their own club.
Yeah, they don't need to be on the Diddy party club. Like, they're doing their own type of mess in their own country. It just was having me, I'm clicking this through.
Sorry.
And it just had me thinking over the fact that like you don't
even know the people. Sorry because you.
Go ahead.
You don't even know the people that you know. Let alone, no, does that make sense? Like, do you know how people say like, oh my God, I had no idea my next door neighbor was this like freak.
yes, yeah.
It's like you don't even know the people you know, let alone this like
Mothers
celebrity.
don't know their sons are gonna shoot up schools.
Like,
but guess what they do? They shoot up schools.
And then they're like, no, they would never do that. Like, babe,
I
newsflash.
Hate to break it to you.
That was some white newsflash, buddy.
Newsflash, buddy.
But like seriously, come on. And especially K-pop, like I'm so sorry, especially when people talk about some of like the Korean like male standards that they have for women and how like isn't there like a whole feminist movement so that they're like not having children with men because that's how bad it is, like that's how like bad they get treated. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is what I heard. So it's like, okay,
that was very Wendy Williams of you.
But it's like this is literally like how they are like in their own country and like the women know that, but then here you are, white BTS fan living in Los Angeles being like, trust me, I know them. I'm not saying BTS in general, like please don't come for me, I'm an army. I'm just saying like these K-pop stars.
No, and you know what, and I don't even think it's one of those things where it's like, idolizing is a crazy word to use for it, but I don't think it's even like, don't be fans of these people, you don't know them, blah blah blah, because again, you can be betrayed by your boyfriend, you can be betrayed by your neighbor, you can be betrayed by a teacher. That takes the fun out of life, in my opinion, and that makes you a very cynical, very pessimistic type of person.
If you're just never developing any relationships.
Right, like I don't think there's anything wrong with assuming
they're a good person.
But
so true.
When it comes,
oh my God, snaps. Sorry, like, can we just all snap for that? That was like such a good speech. Like, I actually am chill.
You honey, should I do a TED Talk after this? Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with still wanting to be fans of male K-pop idols. But when allegations come out and you're gonna like die on that horse, die on the hill.
I feel like with allegations,
high horse, whatever.
I feel like with allegations, it's a very slippery slope because you don't want to
bandwagon
and hate someone for something that they didn't do and it's just an allegation and you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to be so certain that they didn't do something.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like I feel like when things go to court, like okay, random, but like Young Philly or like the Burning Sun, like that's court jail time. Like okay, that happened, babe. But like when it's just like a story or like something,
a rumor or a random TikTok video of a girl posting, it's like
you can be a little more like
critical,
cautious, critical, whatever. Yeah. But like, yeah, you can't be dying on either side. Like you can't be dying like they didn't do it, but you also can't be dying like they did it.
Yeah. And two things. One, I also find that it's not embarrassing for you to admit that you were a fan of this person. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people, I'm gonna use Taeil because he was the most recent one. a lot of his fans were like embarrassed to have been fans of it. And mind you, I'm not like are their fans called N-Citizens? I think so. I was never one, but I did enjoy some of their music and I liked some of their interviews. And I always was like, completely wrong read. I was like, oh, he comes off like the sweet one. I don't
But
know
the
him.
thing is,
Clearly, I don't know this guy.
It's not even that. It's not.
But I'm
even-
not embarrassed to say that because I'm like, yeah, I'm watching interviews and he's sitting in the corner, not speaking, smiling.
That's true.
What else would I have thought he was?
It's also not even the fact of like thinking they're sweet when they're not, but it's like genuinely, you know that saying where it's like you don't know someone until you see them mad?
Yeah, or when they don't have something they want.
When they don't have something they want, when they whatever, they can be like a sweet person in general, but then be a creep
Yeah.
when they're in a different mood. Like this is like that's how humans work. Like I'm so sorry. That's how like Jeffrey Dahmer gets like got like all those victims. Like okay,
Yeah.
you come off like as a nice person. So it's like you're not stupid for thinking they're a nice person. Like no, they were acting nice.
Yeah,
like they were
exactly.
being nice.
And I also think like sometimes it doesn't even need to get to a court case for you to believe it. I feel like the context clues can sometimes lead you to it.
That's true.
Kind of with
You just have to make your own like critical thinking.
yeah. Kind of how Taeil was treated by SM. The fact that it hadn't even hit the news cycle yet, and they had already said he was taking he was leaving the group essentially. And SM was not known for doing that, so I've since learned where they kind of wait to back they back their male idols no matter the allegations until it's like the last second where it's like, okay, now we have to cut him off. So for him to be kicked out of the group
That's crazy.
quickly, it's like, you know, he did it. And you know he did something bad because they don't usually do that.
I guess that's true too.
You know, it doesn't need to go to court for you to be like,
because it's like if it was, it must be so bad that they genuinely don't even want it to be like tied to their name at all.
yeah, for sure.
Versus like if it wasn't, or like if it was unknown, then they could still be like, okay, maybe the pros outweighs the cons because like he still has a lot of fans, right?
Yeah.
But they must know that all of his fans will drop him after this, because I feel like companies, they will keep their idols if they think that like their fans are like delulu enough to like not care or like whatever. But like this must be so bad.
And I also, this is hot take. This is my hot take. I don't think just because one member of the group did something shady, that means all of the members of the group must also be guilty.
That's
like
true.
we just said, you can be betrayed by your friend. You can be betrayed by a parent. You can be betrayed by anyone in your life. So I don't necessarily agree with the sentiment where people were saying like,
guilty by association.
yeah, they must have known. They must have known. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so.
So bad, and maybe because we're like Beyonce fans, but like when they're like, well, Jay-Z was friends with Diddy, and then Beyonce is Jay-Z's wife, so like she knows. She knows. Like
she knows. I can't even get into that because that is another case of like, show me the proof, and there's no proof. There's like a picture of her with Diddy as proof. I'm like,
please.
Okay, sure.
In terms of like groups, I get the thought process. I get the like birds of a feather flock together, or like if you drink with drinkers, you're gonna be a drinker. If you sit with smokers, you're gonna be a smoker. But again, if someone's doing like bad, that's like so bad, they're probably not inviting a lot of friends. They're probably not very proud of that. They're probably not very comfortable sharing the bad things that they've done. Like,
and I also feel like sometimes people forget this is work to them too.
yeah.
They probably go through ebb and flows of when they're close together and when they're not. So I don't think it's fair, again, to group them all into personally. I know some people will vehemently disagree with this, but I just don't think it's fair to say his whole group must have known what he was doing. Yeah. They all must have been in on it.
Yeah.
If it came out that they did, I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm not gonna assume the worst.
Yeah, like, okay, if you do bad stuff, do you go and like tell your coworkers? Like, I don't talk to
especially
my coworkers
because
like that, please.
This case seemed like a personal vendetta against the girl. Like it wasn't like is it called Burning Sun?
The Burning Sun scandal, where it was like a scheme to get random women.
Yes, and it was like anyone that was down could hurt any woman they cared. Whereas this was like
targeted.
Yes, so that's why I also kind of doubt.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just doesn't make sense in my mind. And again, I'm not even like an NCT fan, but I just feel like people act on emotion and they lose their critical thinking skills.
That's so true. Like you also have to like detach yourself, but also there's like also a point of like how much do you care? Because me personally, it's like, oh my gosh, like sometimes I see scandals about like certain celebrities and I'm like, okay, it sounds really bad. I don't know if this is like okay to say, but I'm like, I don't care. Like I literally will scroll past it because I'm like, not my business. If this is like a big thing, they'll go to court and hopefully the court will take care of them and put them in jail. I don't need to like be on the internet like saying all these things and like getting involved and like,
I agree.
just let it happen. Let it like sort
let
itself out.
Let them get their own justice. Like let the victim
enough
get their
with like
justice.
the Twitter hashtags and like the viral. Like I hate that. I hate that a lot.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little crazy. Sometimes I get it, but other times, yeah, it's a little crazy in my opinion.
And it's like, especially if it's not like a public case, like you know how some cases are like public, like the Johnny Depp, whatever.
Or like Diddy.
Yeah, like if it's like a private case, like why are you actually trying to like stick your face in it? Like I don't know. And like prime example of that, like when I saw a video of Hyuna with like a flower girl or something. I don't know, like there was a TikTok about it. The way I scrolled past it so fast, like I was like, I actually don't listen to her music, like I actually don't care so bad that I'm like, please.
So kind of understand how fans that thought she stood for something felt betrayed, you know, after the fact of her now husband. Well, okay. By her choice and her now husband. So
they're like, was she the worst? No, I'm kidding. Well,
no, but I get the backlash reactions. Like the more people love you, the more people are gonna hate you when you betray them. When you betray them. Granted, she's
her. This is her. She's making her own life decisions. It's just like Nicki. Like these women, they're making their own life choices.
You can't really say much.
We can't control them, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have a poll going up on the community page for what you think about this Taeil situation. Are you still going to be an NCT fan, or are you kind of going to boycott because of this? If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.